everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title down below, in this video I'm doing another What's for Dinner episode. So if you haven't seen these videos before, I pretty much combine three dinner meals in one, whether they're just like, it's mainly for ideas. Sometimes I do it like on a budget, sometimes I do it just quick and easy. I don't really know what I'm doing for the other. I guess I know the next recipe will be tomorrow's too. I don't know. I don't really think there's a theme with this one. But anyhow, today we are going to be making slow cooker chicken cacciatore. And I'm so excited for it. So let's get started. Alright, here in my bowl I've got about 2 cups of flour with a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to give it a mix to combine. Over here I've got some chicken drumsticks. I think traditionally you use chicken thighs, but I'm just going to dust them and roll them around in the flour. And here I got my pan heating up on a medium-high heat. I'm just going to put olive oil in. Alright, and then with the chicken we're just going to pop it in, and we want it to be nice and brown on the outsides. So just let it go for a few minutes, flip it a few minutes, and then we'll be good to go and take out. It won't be fully cooked, but we're going to be cooking in a slow cooker. We just want a nice kind of crust, and the flour is going to really help to thicken up the sauce later on. So while the chicken's frying in the slow cooker, I've got it on. I'm just going to start with the sauce. So the base of the sauce, I'm just going to be using some passata. Traditionally, it's just, I think they use canned whole tomatoes. I don't really like the chunks of tomato though, so I'm just going to go with the passata sauce. Personal preference. Just pop some water in, just a little bit. And to that, this is the herbs that we're going to use: some thyme, basil and oregano. Oregano, I have the tiniest amount left. I'm just going to chuck this in now. And once this is all on, I'm going to do the grocery shop anyhow, so I'll get some more and I'll just add it later when I come home. It's no big deal. But we want 2 teaspoons of oregano, and then 1 teaspoon of basil and 1 teaspoon of thyme. Also, optional ingredient is chili flakes. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of dried chili flakes. If you don't like spice or don't want any heat, don't add that, but it's not going to make much heat. And now with some Kalamata olives, I think they're called, the black olives. I'm using sliced because that's what we have already. You can use whole or half. I'm just using sliced. So we're going to add maybe about 1/3 of a cup of olives. And as you can see, I was putting some of the vinegary pickling juice that they're in as well. So adding the juice or the water or the vinegar or whatever's inside of this jar is great for flavour. And the last ingredient for the sauce is some red wine. So I'm going to be adding about 1/2 cup of red wine. And now for the vegetables, I got 2 small capsicums here, 1 onion, about 1/2 cup of peas, 2 carrots, and under here I got 2 heaped teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm just going to add it all in at once. Alright, so I'm just going to give this a nice stir to get it all nice and combined, and the chicken is still frying off. Once the chicken has browned up a little bit, I'll add it to here as well, and then this is everything that you're going to need. But while we wait for the chicken, I'm just going to pop the lid on, and this is on high, and once the chicken is in, we want it cooking, oh no, sorry, it's on low. We want it cooking on low for about 8 hours. Alright, so as you can see, it's got some colour in it now, definitely not cooked through, but we're just going to add it straight to our pot. Alright, so it's now the next day. This is what it looks like. Pretty much I just took some out and heated it up. The boys are going to have something lighter for tea, like they have the far noodle bowls, like 2-minute noodle kind of things. But tomorrow I might heat the rest up for lunch using a slow cooker to heat it up. But for now I'm going to eat some. I'm so excited. And yeah, as I said, my rice, tomorrow we'll probably do mashed potato with it because the boys will prefer potato than rice. Alright, over here I got 1 small onion just sliced up and I got 4 rations of bacon. That's pretty small rations, but once you chop them, they kind of look bigger than before chopping them. So I thought like 2 per person kind of thing. But add as much or as little onion, bacon and garlic as you like. I'm just using minced garlic from the fridge, it's still in the fridge. And some Parmesan cheese. I will grate that when it comes closer to time. And over here I already got hot water in a pot on high heat waiting for that to be a boil, and I just got my pan here ready to go. But I'm pretty much just got all my prep work done and we're waiting for the water to boil because you don't want to start frying off the bacon and making the sauce, because we're making the sauce from scratch, by the way. I think it's the authentic way. I don't know. My very first video actually on this channel, don't recommend watching. It's kind of cringe. I was really hyper and excited and just in a funky mood. And then bacon carbonara, but I used to use cream, which is still good. It is still good. But this recipe is the authentic way, I think. If not, it's my way without any cream. So it's fantastic. Where am I going on with this? Anyhow, yeah, you don't want to start cooking until your water's boiling. I think that's what I was trying to get at. I don't know, but we'll come back once the water starts boiling. Alright, so our water is boiling. Half a teaspoon of salt. And the fettuccine pasta, this is going to be our first time using the pasta from Aldi to try. But just enough for 2 people. Hopefully. Do a little more, a little more. Alright, that should be plenty pasta. I've got my pan here heating up, ready to go. So in the pan here, we want to start off frying off our bacon. I've got oil in my pan as well. Alright, now the bacon's starting to get quite nice. I'm going to add in the onion. I'm just going to probably cook this off for about a minute, and then I'm going to turn the heat right down to just a low to medium heat. Now add a couple of tablespoons of garlic, and I've just switched down my heat to low to medium. And there we go. I'm not going to season any with salt because the cheese is going to be salty. We're using fresh Parmesan cheese, and I salted the pasta water, and we need pasta water to go, like, is the sauce pretty much. But I'm definitely going to be using some black pepper. And like I mentioned, for the sauce, we're going to be doing it with eggs. So 2 almost room temperature eggs. If you can get that room temperature, that'll be better. But if not, it doesn't matter too much, but yeah. And I'm just going to beat that all up. You don't want to like whisk it or get air into it. You just want it all broken and combined. So I've changed it to complete low yo, so you want to make sure you got space next to it to keep taking it off of the heat. We're going to add in the 2 eggs. And at this stage, you just want to keep mixing it because you do not want it to scramble, but obviously you want to cook your eggs through. So you want to not flip it on the floor. You just want to keep moving it onto the heat. Back and forth from the heat. Pasta water, I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons. We'll start off with 6 tablespoons, I reckon. And this is primarily our sauce. And you know your eggs will be cooked through once they've been on the heat and have been heated through for 5 minutes and they're still runny like this, then that's cooked through. You won't have any worries or anything like that. So I'm going to take this off to the side so I can taste some of this pasta to see if it's cooked. Alright, so the pasta's cooked. You want to still keep some pasta water as, like I said, the sauce. So there's about half a cup of water in there, that will be plenty. Now I'm going to go drain the pasta. Alright, pasta's drained, and this is a good sign coming back to it, so we're going to put it back onto the heat. I'll move that out of the way so I don't knock that over, because I probably would. Now I'm just going to add a couple more tablespoons. Now it's just, it's all about your personal consistency and what you like. Just a small handful of Parmesan cheese. You want that melted in with the sauce, and that will give it the real nice salty flavour and just have a real good flavour with the sauce. And we got some more Parmesan cheese to go on top after. Do have the pasta water on the side just in case I feel like it needs more sauce. At this stage I don't feel like it will. I'm going to just a little bit at a time get the pasta. I'm going to cover the pasta that I just put in with some olive oil and give that a good mix. Alright, some more pasta. I could probably do a bit more than what I just did just then, to be honest, at a time. Pasta, olive oil, probably about a tablespoon I'm using at a time, and then give it a good mix. And if you feel like it is getting too dry, just add some more of that pasta water sauce. Alright, the light is reflecting off this pretty badly, but I'm just keen to get digging. I do regret only adding 2 eggs. It should have been 3, but here we go. Yeah, it's still good, definitely still good. It's just like, it's just lacking that richness a bit. Well, after having a few bites, I guess it's okay. Yum. It's really saucy. The more you have, the more richer it gets. Just first couple bites, it's like, it's not as wow in your face like when I do 3 eggs, I feel. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next night. It'll be in a few nights, but I'll see you guys then. Alright, starting off with pancake butter, we're going to do a cup of self-raising flour and a cup of plain flour, half a cup sugar, taking a whisk and just blending that all together, cracking 2 eggs, and about a cup of milk. And I would normally add vanilla, but I don't have any vanilla, so if you got it, definitely add it. Alright, now that's all combined, we're going to add another cup of milk and mix that one in. And about a tablespoon of olive oil. Alright, so the butter is all nice and melted. It's still a little bit cold, it's not completely up to temperature yet, but that's okay. And I'm going to take like about half a cup of measurement for each pancake. But I'm just going to flip it over now. Ooh, she's looking good. So I'll give that a couple more minutes and then that one should be done. And I'm just going to keep going until all of the mix is done. So while we wait for the pancakes to cook, I'm going to start making the French toast batter. So cracking, 2 eggs. Right, they're all nice and beaten. We're going to, I don't really do measurements when it comes to this with the milk, but I kind of count in seconds. Just do a slow, steady steam and count in seconds of how many eggs. So we want to go for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and that's plenty. Mix that in. And with my French toast, generally people would add the sugar and the cinnamon, and again vanilla. If I had vanilla, I would use it now, but I don't. But the sugar and cinnamon, I'm going to wait until we start cooking it and sprinkle that on top. So each slice of French toast has an even and equal amount of sugar and cinnamon. But for now, this is done. So we'll just set this aside and wait for the pancakes to cook. Also for the French toast, I got 4 slices of bread. I've just cut them in halves lengthways. And now we also want to prepare our tomatoes and mushrooms. So I'm going to start with the mushrooms first, just because tomatoes are juicy. So it's just easier if I start with the mushrooms. And I'm just going to pop the stem out. I'm just going to peel these little guys. So that's fine. And then I'm just going to go in and peel the mushroom. I think these ones I'm just going to chop in half and then that'll be fine. So I'm just going to go along and do that to all the mushrooms. Whoops, that's alright. I forgot to hit record, but I just sliced up the, what's that called? Tomatoes in 6, so they're just on the plate ready to go, and I think that's all the prep work done. Alright, on this side to a medium-high heat, I'm just heating up some oil. I'm just going to start frying off the tomatoes in here, and then I'll do the mushrooms in here, just try to get things done a little quicker. So with the tomatoes, like I mentioned, I just cut them in 6. I'm just going to put them flat side down. Pepper. And let that sit for a couple of minutes. And I'm just going to put on some more pepper. Alright, so now going in with the French toast. Still the same butter and oil, so just going to grease that up a little bit more. So we got our egg and milk mixture up here. Just going to dunk the halves, shake up any excess. Dust them with cinnamon and sprinkle sugar. And again, just wait 2-3 minutes, flip them, and I'm not going to do cinnamon and sugar on the other side because that side would have already been cooked. I'm just doing it on the one side. Alright, so we'll flip these over. Ooh. Now that they're flipped, you can really smell the sugar and the cinnamon. Oh, so good. Next is mushrooms, so a tablespoon of oil. So on a medium-high heat, add the mushies. And I'm going to get a little salt and pepper. Right, more oil. We've got 2 more things to fry up. So just a little bit of oil. I'm only using oil because this pan is really bad. As you can see, it's really dark in the center. It's just the non-stick is completely worn off because I'm lazy and I always put it in the dishwasher. So yeah, this pan's not the good. But, whoa. Oh no, it's 2 pieces. I'm gonna say that's a thick slice of bacon, but that was 2 slices. So, bacon. We're going to fry up, and then I'm just going to do basic fried eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper. Alright, so she's a little messy up here, but I'm still cooking. The boys' plates are done, so they get the bacon, pancakes, not savory, sweet French toast, tomato, mushroom, 2 fried eggs, and maple syrup as well. I'll let them do that in maple syrup. So this is, like I said, I know it's a bit messy, but that's what the completed plates look like. I'm actually so excited for this. Alright, so I just finished eating. That was so good, but this is a wrap and the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment down below as well, out of the 3 recipes, what one did you like, or what would you be more inclined to eat? I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!